What? What do you want? What? What do you want?
And psychedelics have a rich history in Silicon Valley. One of the most iconic users, Steve Jobs.
I moved here to work in the Apple garage, building Apple Ones. That was 1976.
That's Daniel Kotke, one of Apple's first employees. And before we all knew Steve Jobs as the creator of one of the most successful companies in the world, Daniel knew him as the guy he used to trip with in college. It was a spiritual thing.
Steve and I developed a friendship when we figured out that we had both read this amazing book called Be Here Now, which is about psychedelics and spirituality.
You said that Steve had said that LSD was kind of one of the best things he ever did. Why was that?
It expands your consciousness. It could have been mushrooms, it could have been peyote, it could have been any number of other things. Conversely, Steve was never really interested in smoking pot. That did not expand consciousness.
The whole self-love thing, let's talk about that for a minute. But before I get into that, we got this, our world is now being ran by the people running our world. A lot of the people that's running our world in the direction of our world are now openly using drugs, And do you have a problem with that? I do. I mean, I have a problem with that. And, I'm normally the person that to stand up for, if you choose to use drugs or whatever, that's fine. But I don't think it should be mainstream like that. And especially these are extremely wealthy people that they're using all their money and influence to direct our world into whatever their visions are on these mind-tripping drugs.
Back from Costa Rica?
Yeah, not long ago. We went to, do you guys know what ayahuasca is?
Oh, yes!
So we did it for 3 nights. It was incredibly intense. Everybody's journey is different. The second night, I went to hell for eternity. Yeah. And just knowing eternity is torture in itself because there was no beginning, middle, or end. So you have a real ego death.
Wait, now, how do you arrive and understand that that's what the moment is? Is there a sign, next exit hell?
It's your own psychological hell, basically, is the point of the medicine, right? This is a medicine that it surpasses anything you could do with talk therapy or hypnotherapy or any of those things. It just goes straight into your soul, and it takes you to the psychological prison that you hold yourself in. So it's your own version of hell, and I was definitely there.
I have an issue with that. Shouldn't you have an issue with that? We're not going for a world vision. We're going for the visions of these people, billionaires who are tripping out on drugs. Okay, and so I do have an issue with that. And a lot of these things, it's a new age thing, right? And part of the NWO, I guess. But and then these same people and their people of influence, and they go, the world's very depressing, right? And that's one of the things I was getting into. That's why I switched, cut myself off on that one because I realized that it would be enough of a subject for a second video. So anyway, point is, this new age thinking, the world's depressed enough, right? And I take my situation and they're like, oh, well, it seems like maybe you're depressed, and that's the answer for a lot of things in this world. For a lot of us, you're depressed. But I'm going to take my situation as an example. Yes, maybe I am depressed, not maybe, there's some depressing things going on here, but what is the answer? The answer is they want to send you to, they want to help you, so they want to send you to therapy or whatever, whatever it is, right? and then they want to get you on these drugs to help you. That's the truth. They'll get you on these whatever prescriptions and whatever, and they just dumb you down that way instead of facing the problem. Okay, the answer to depression is not these drugs and this self-love that they keep teaching. And that's what I'm getting at. That's what they're teaching in these things is self-love. They want to act like, well, you're depressed because you don't love yourself. You don't love yourself enough. And that's not true. We all love ourselves, and we're being blinded to that. It's because the world around us that we don't see it. We don't love that we're being a part of the world around us because something deep inside us tells us this isn't right. Okay? And but the thing is, so it's the new age way, and these people of high influence are going along with this, and they're getting on these drugs and taking these therapies that are teaching them self-love.
And we talk so much about mental health, and to me, one of the core tenets of your mental health is that self-love. And that's what ayahuasca did for me. It was help me see how to unconditionally love myself. And it's only in that unconditional self-love that then I'm able to truly be able to unconditionally love others.
Mm-hmm.
And what better way to work on, for me, in my own, this is my own belief, but what better way to work on my mental health than to have an experience like that.
But they're getting on, real expensive, not way more than prescription drugs, but I'm saying they're going along, and you can see it through the people in your community. It's all around you because everybody's depressed. It's not something to be ashamed of. Yeah, what's your reasons? Now, sometimes there are the few examples of people that just are depressed and can't necessarily be helped, but, easily or whatever. But there's an overwhelming thing of everybody's depressed, and what is it? It's the issues that's being allowed. And I'll take my example. What are you gonna throw at me in some kind of with some kind of psych person, whatever it's called, I can't think of it right now. But what are you gonna throw at me in some kind of fucking sessions that I'm gonna talk to you about that you're gonna be able to prescribe to me to make my issues better, right? You're not making my issues better, and I'm not depressed because I don't love myself enough, is the thing, and people can argue some of this all you want, and my approach to or what I'm saying about it, or what they teach you, and this is what they teach you, and you can see it in the people all around you, and you can see how it's damaging them, and they start getting what they think they're getting help, and they start feeling better, and well, it's either there's a combination of it. They putting them on these drugs that you take that just makes you somehow feel like just makes the bad not seem so bad. And in the meantime, they're teaching you all this more self-love. In one form or another, and just gets deeper the more you're into it. And then you see these people, and they come out and they love themselves so much, but they're acting like the way they're acting, and the people they become is because now everyone loves themselves too much. And they act, and the excuse is, it's helped me love the rest of the world. That's not how it goes. Okay, you'll love yourself more when you love the rest of the world better. Okay, it just isn't right. And so one of what I was touching in the other video is how it's related, and how I was getting off track to go on to this. And that video was because of the movement, the false teachings within the Christians, because that's also a thing within the Christian stuff. It's also accepted that way, and a lot of people are learning self-love, and that's not what God teaches. He does not teach us self-love, and it's wrong, and it makes the world a worse place. Everything going on around us is all these new teachings they're teaching us, and what they don't want to talk about is all these things that they're forcing to happen in all of our lives in one form or another, and instead of fixing those issues that would fix a lot of the depressing stuff going on, they want to teach you, pay whatever price it takes, but now you need some help, and you go talk to this person who's been trained by the state it's all part of the thing, and now it's an overwhelming thing where all these people are seeing these getting help or whatever, right? Because they're so depressed, and it's sad and it's sick, but they're not prescribing the real medicine. They're not prescribing the real medicine, what it really takes. One, you're gonna have to get your life right, because that's just the shape of the world, and they're not telling you because they can't tell you. It's not going to get better. If it's a lot of this shit in the world going on around us, it's not going to get any better. It's already been foretold. It's how we're going to handle it from here on out. It's who we're going to allow ourselves to become, and and what's really, and then it's going to boil down to what's really important to us. Okay, and the self-love they're teaching you, it's ridiculous, and it's destroying people, and that's the truth. That's where I stand on that. And there's enough. I'll see if I can find some clips to show on some of that. But you take a look at the world around you, and take a look at all the examples available. People even I'm sure, and but they're learning, but they're being taught self-love, and that it's wrong, and somebody's got to step up and say it. Okay, and drugs they want to put everybody on, it's wrong. Just if you trust anything from this system, now is the time to resist the system, and is the thing, because if you're assigning yourself to it, and these people and their visions, and they're trying to totally connect us to it, and literally connect us to it, with the whole transhumanism stuff.
It's talking about LSD, ketamine, magic mushrooms. The first line of this article states Elon Musk takes ketamine.
Yeah.
Is the stigma gone from these drugs? Like it seems like these are like serious drugs. They were like
Schedule 1 drugs.
Schedule 1 drugs. So it's just kind of interesting. That struck me before I knew you were going to be on today. I read that article this morning and I was like kind of floored.
Elon Musk takes ketamine. Google co-founder Sergey Brin occasionally enjoys magic mushrooms. Executives at venture capital firm Founders Fund, which has invested in SpaceX and Facebook, have thrown parties that include psychedelics. Silicon Valley has long had a tolerance toward drug use, but while in the past routine drug use was squarely an after-hours activity, these days it's become embedded in corporate culture.
And now that ramping up this stuff again with nothing's going back to normal the way it once was, and we're all gonna we're better off if we stick together, those of us who see that and believe that. And I'm not gonna try to totally cram my beliefs down anyone's throat, but I expect the same respect in return. But somewhere along the line, many of us are on the same page, and we got to realize this, and we got to expose this stuff, and the stuff they're teaching, and the stuff they're trying to do to help the world with their depression issues. It's all by design, and it's not going. And sadly, anyone who's going to tell you it's going to actually get better is selling false hope. And because if you know what's going on, and it's going to get worse. Anyway, I don't know. See ya.